Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and welcome back to the Labyrinth. So as always, I got some poetry for you guys, and of course, if this is your first time in Nigel Dixie's Tales from the Labyrinth, this is your first episode, welcome, but if you're returning, welcome back. But if you are new here, what we do here is we read poetry. So except for some special occasions, but otherwise, for the most part, we read poetry. So I have 5 poems, 3 written by myself, and then 2 from other poets. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And I think you guys are going to enjoy these ones. Now, I did change things up a little bit this time around. These 3 poems were pre-written, and as I wrote them a while ago. Nothing fresh. I know. I'm sorry, but I figured they would be interesting, and at least one of these does definitely apply. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So this first one is called Winter. The white flurry cloaking the sky, temperatures going down further and further, ice on the street and in the road, or ice on the streets and in the road. Christmas music blaring through the streets, Salvation Army bells, caroling, warm food and warmer spirits, as it's winter time yet again. And so, of course, winter is pretty much kind of sort of here. Like it's still raining as well, but it's also been kind of snowing. Buffalo, get it together. But yeah, so wintertime is here, and the wintertime, yeah, is known for its cold and ice and stuff, but it's also known for Christmas time. Salvation Army, Christmas caroling, the Christmas music, which starts in December. I don't care what any of you said. Hey, no, it's November. We're getting through Thanksgiving, and then we're going to Christmas. It's not Christmas time yet. Put down the Christmas tree. Put it down. Put it down. But yeah, so of course, Christmas time, one of my favorite times of year, and just for the most part, winter time in general, but mostly, Christmas time, and then you get to January and February, and the snow's still there, and sometimes it gets worse, but nevertheless, so it is winter time once again, at least here in Buffalo. And throughout New York. So, of course, stay safe and stay warm. But this next one is called Diamond Mine. I look out and see a multitude of people, diamonds shining bright. The pressure they've gone through makes them shine the brightest. And they say a diamond going through pressure, or coal going through pressure, squeezes out the diamond, and that definitely is the case. And the things you're going through, trust me, I'm going through some stuff as well, but the things you're going through will mold you to become that diamond later on. So keep pushing, keep pressing through, and emerge out the other side that beautiful, elegant diamond that I know that you are, and that you know that you are. But this next one is called A Starry Night Sky. Do you remember the first time we met? The sky was filled with stars. Do you remember our first date? It rained that night. Do you remember when I met your parents? It was so cold that night. Do you remember when I proposed? It was so warm. Do you remember when we got married? The sky was a beautiful shade of velvet. Do you remember when we argued? It rained hard for the rest of the day. Do you remember when you became pregnant? The sky was blue as could be. Do you remember when you gave birth? The sky was pink with a touch of orange. Do you remember when our child walked? The sky was red and orange. Do you remember when our child graduated? The sky was a bright blue. Do you remember when our grandchildren were born? The sky was dark blue. I remember the night that you died. The sky was starry again. Another star was added to the sky. This one belongs to you. It's okay. I'll give you a minute to get the tissues, but yeah, pretty much showing the passage of time and the passage of life, and juxtaposing it with the sky, because there are plenty of moments and at various times, as you can see, evening, day, night, and stuff like that, rain, snow, and then going back to the starry sky, and then and another starry sky, pretty much showing the passage of life and how life does kind of pass by quickly, but also showing different points in time essentially. But cherish all those moments, because eventually that's all we really have. But this next one is Awaking in New York, and this is by Maya Angelou. Curtains forcing their will against the wind. Children sleep, exchanging dreams with seraphim. The city drags itself awake on subway straps, and I, an alarm, awake as a rumor of war lies stretching into dawn, unasked and unheeded. So, oh, I may have to look into the context of when exactly the poem was written, but some other juxtaposition here, but also some imagery. I love my imagery, showing pretty much the curtains moving in the wind, and the children asleep. But then, and Maya, or perhaps the narrator, if it's not intended to be Maya herself necessarily, because of course you're able to do that sometimes. Awakes to what she calls a rumor of war that could be perhaps a gunshot, perhaps an argument, something like that, and as it goes into the day. So showing that juxtaposition of the kind of peaceful night, kind of normal night, and then it transitions into this big thing happening. Rumor of war, that is, meaning something big and something perhaps dangerous happening. So showing that juxtaposition, and it is New York. So as someone who, granted, I'm from Buffalo, born and raised, and live in Buffalo. But yeah, sometimes in New York, things like that can happen. Where there's a lot of commotion, stuff goes down. So of course, always got to be careful. Always have an air of caution, and at least at most points. But nevertheless, this last poem is called 1994, and this is by Lucille Clifton. I was leaving my 58th year when a thumb of ice stamped itself hard near my heart. You have your own body. You know about the fears, the tears, the scar of disbelief. You know that the saddest lies are the ones we tell ourselves. You know how dangerous it is to be born with breasts. You know how dangerous it is to wear dark skin. I was leaving my 58th year when I woke into the winter of a cold and mortal body. The thin icicles hanging off, the one mad nipple weeping. Have we not been good children? Did we not inherit the earth? But you must know all about this from your own shivering life. So what we see here is kind of there's a couple things, and more imagery, and metaphor as well, but also what I got out of it is the concept of mortality. As Lucille turns 58 in the poem here, or at the very least the narrator, but as Lucille turns 58 that year, and mortality hits her, or she feels cold, almost bitter, or about turning older, or about her something going on. The thumb of ice stamped itself near the heart. That means the heart growing cold. So, not a good feeling as she ages and mortality sets in. And showing that the body is cold, icicles hanging from the nipples. So showing that the body is becoming cold, or going towards that mortality, because of course your body becomes cold once you die. So really exploring mortality here. And I think that's an interesting way of going about it. It going more the metaphorical, somewhat literal sense as well, with literal icicles, but showing the metaphorical journey towards mortality, exploring mortality essentially. Let me know if that makes any sense. But nevertheless, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video, so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the poems, my interpretation and analysis. Did you like to like them, and did you like to like my analysis, and what are your thoughts on the poems? What do you think they mean? What's your interpretations of them? Because your interpretations, of course, may be different from mine. And I don't mention this too often, but for starters, if you want to, if you have any poem or poetry recommendations, you can always send them to me either in the comments of the video or through my social medias. Of course, I have a Facebook, a Twitter, and an Instagram, and those are in the link tree. So go check me out there. Pretty much any way you can get a hold of me. But also, the poems, at least a good majority of them, and most if not all of the poems I read from the other poets are from the Poetry Foundation at poetryfoundation.org. They are also linked in the description, so go check them out. They have a variety of poems from a variety of poets. So go explore there, and you may enjoy what you find. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.